Fam, hey, welcome to Women of a Particular Age podcast, where we discuss women's views, life lessons, and a little bit of sugar honey iced tea. Heather, how are you doing? What's
I'm
going
doing
on?
good, friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Folks, just so you know, me and Heather haven't been here. We've been taking a couple of classes. We're not going to tell you what those classes are, but we've been educating ourselves. So before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. JollyStudios@gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com. Let's go ahead and get with the intro. So guess what? We can get it started in here. Hey, folks, we are back. All right. So, thank you for staying with us. So, let's get going. So, folks, we got a couple of things for you, okay? There's a couple of things that we're going to talk about. We have a movie, we have a documentary. We're so excited to talk to you about all these things we have for you. So, let's get going. So,
Yes.
first things first, let's talk about what the titles are for the podcast today, which is the Truth Behind the Smile, JFK Jr., The Perfect Neighbor, and What Prop 50 Exposed About Power and People. Bum, 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 bum,
Mm-mm-mm.
bum. All right. So, folks, first things first. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about Prop 50. So, I don't know what side of the coin you are with that. Okay, doesn't matter. We're here to talk about it. Let's get into it. So, before we get started, let's talk about what Prop 50 is. It is a constitutional amendment that could temporarily withdraw the state's congressional map before the 2026 midterms. Now, folks, the reason why this whole thing was important about Prop 50 was because we were in a situation of maybe um certain voting booths being rigged. And because of that, we're not saying who, we're not saying Republicans, we're not saying the Democrats. We're saying being in a situation of being rigged. And because of that, we voted so we could make sure that we could have fair
Mhm.
playing field.
Yes.
Okay. You
Right.
know, the whole purpose of voting is for
Hmm.
people, for everybody to be able to have their say, right, Heather? We should all be able
That's
to have our say, right,
right.
friend?
Yeah, yeah. We want our voice to be heard. We want to exercise our right to vote and
Right.
what we want to see, So yeah.
Yeah, I think that we should be doing that. So, folks, now
Yes.
let's talk about the results. Now, we all know that the voting happened on November 4th, 2025. Okay,
Hmm.
there was in-person elections. You could have did an absentee ballot. Okay, and
Hmm.
voting ended that evening at 8 p.m. Okay, now the first results. Okay. The first results in the
Hmm.
2024 presidential election, the AP first reported results in California at 11:12 p.m. Eastern Time, or 12 minutes after polling closed. The voting tabulation ended for the night at 7 a.m. Eastern, with about 54 of total votes counted. Now, the reason why we're saying is because with this turnout for Prop
Yes.
50, it was slightly more than 12.8 million voters who casted a ballot. I mean,
That's amazing.
listen,
That's a lot
amazing.
of people. Yeah, a lot of
Okay,
people
around
cared about
I
it.
was
Yeah.
a lot of people cared, a lot of people felt some type of way about it.
Yes.
Okay, over
Right.
58% of registered voters, people came out in droves. Okay, people came
Yes.
out in droves. And listen, all that shows me is that means that we're not looking towards ourselves, our own agendas. I
Right.
do feel, and this is just my own personal feeling, that when we vote, we should vote thinking about each other. We really should
Yeah.
vote thinking about each other, because some of our situations are here and some of them are here. But at any time, regardless of what you think, they could change.
Right, because the
So
roles
we,
can be reversed. So
Yes,
Yeah, so
ma'am.
when voting, definitely it needs a lot of thought. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you really need to look at the whole picture, because
Right,
some people just vote I'm this party or that party. For
right,
me, I don't look at it that way. I look at what that prop is and what does it mean? How is it going to
right,
help? Or how is it going to be a disservice? Is it going to be a disservice? Does it have good points? Does the
right,
good outweigh maybe a little bit, not so good? But I
right.
don't vote by what one party recommends and the other one doesn't, because like
That's
you
right.
said, we need to think about what everyone as a whole, especially like our state of California. We really need to think about the whole entire state. It's not just about me and you, it's a whole entire state,
Yeah, and
and
we
our
gotta be
and our yeah,
careful.
we
Like I
have to
said,
be
because we
careful.
gotta be careful
Yes,
because you just never know. At any point in time, any one of us could be in a situation. We could be in a situation. So we just want to be careful about how we speak about
yes,
these services or all these because guess what? Think about it if it were you in that situation. You just don't know. Don't
right,
assume that your situation will always be great. You just don't
hmm,
know. You just
right,
don't know. Okay.
right,
So I am going to tell you for right now, it's looking pretty good. I'm really happy that everybody came out and we
yes,
band together. So now let's just wait and hope that when we vote next year, we can get the
yes,
same turnout, if not better.
yes,
Folks, come
right.
on. You guys think we could do that? I know. Come on, Heather. I know
Yeah,
we
for
think we can
sure.
do that, right?
We know because it's been
We can do
done.
it.
So we can do it. We voted for a prop and
Mm-hmm.
for California to help us here. So now this is just the beginning. Now people have to come out and vote,
That's
so
right.
yeah, we
That's
can't
right.
just vote one time. We need to exercise our voice,
Yeah.
right? We don't want
Yeah.
anybody taking away our voice, or voting in another way and then our vote
Right.
didn't count because we thought, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Everybody's
Yeah.
vote does.
And guess what? I no longer, for people who say that, I don't want to hear that ever again. I've
Mm-mm,
heard so
no.
many people use that excuse. Voting doesn't
Yes.
matter. It did.
Right.
Listen, it most
Right.
definitely does matter because guess
Yes.
what? People came out in droves for this prop.
Yeah,
So it does matter.
I've heard that too, Tara. I've heard people say, "Oh, I didn't," for different elections, okay? Even presidential.
Hmm.
Well, I didn't even bother because I knew that it was going to be a landslide. And I'm like, "Yeah, but w- didn't you have ink more towards one person than the other? I mean, you do have a say. I mean, the vote. I
Yeah.
mean, if we have so many people saying that same thing, it's just,
It could be
I don't know.
dangerous.
It
It could
can
be
be very
dangerous. It
dangerous.
could be
Like, now,
dangerous.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
Let the other people vote.
that's
And you
right.
know
It could be
what?
dangerous.
Listen, we are fortunate enough that we can vote, okay? That we live in
Girl,
a democratic thing. I'm telling you, there's
girl,
people in other countries that don't have this, okay? And we
we
can't take it for granted.
shall
We can't take it for granted, friend.
overcome.
No,
You
I don't
can't,
want somebody. I
girl.
don't want somebody making
Mm-mm.
my decisions and my choices or telling me what to do or how to live. I don't.
That's right.
So that's why I say vote, vote, vote.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Okay. All
Amen.
right. So now that Heather has had church, benediction, and she wasn't able to collect money, but she's ring the bell, Heather. Ring the bell. Okay, she's ringing the bell. That means that we're swinging on to a new
Mhm.
subject. Okay. So
Yes.
listen, now that we're done talking about that, let's get to the movies and the series.
Let's do it. Oh, I
Let's
can't
do
wait.
it. Okay, so the first things first, let's talk about HBO Max, JFK Jr., The American Prince. Let's get a
Yes.
picture. Let's get a
Yes.
picture. Because I got us a wonderful picture of him, Heather
Good.
girl. Hold on.
All right. Let's
Girl,
look
look
at it.
at him. Look at Mr.
Hmm.
Sexy. Look at Mr. Sexy. Come
Well,
on,
now
JFK.
you know that he was voted in 1988 as the sexiest man alive,
I bet you
right?
he was. I bet
Mm-hmm.
you he was. I bet
Mm-hmm.
you he was. Now listen,
Does
folks,
it?
let's get a quick description before we get to playing
Yes.
around with Mr. JFK Jr. Let's get a quick
Yes.
description of him. All right. And this description is The American Prince. JFK Jr. is a documentary ministers directed by Rebecca Glintz. It follows the
Mm-hmm.
life of JFK Jr. and the launch of George. Now, if you guys don't know what George is the magazine that JFK launched. Now, Heather, let's talk about Mr. JFK. Now, folks, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this. It was very interesting. Some of the things that I heard and I saw. Now,
Okay.
if I were JFK and if I had heard some of these things, I might feel kind of weird. And
Mm-hmm.
Heather, you tell me, because I'm going to put it out there. There was
Okay.
one time I heard somebody say, the person who's famous for nothing.
Mm.
Did you hear that? Did you happen to hear
Yeah.
that in the hear it? That they said that he was the
Yes.
person who was famous for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I could see, I
Wow.
mean, yeah,
I
that's
can see
an
that.
ouch. That's ouch.
It's an
Okay.
ouch.
And
I mean, I get it, but it's an ouch.
yeah, it is an
Right?
ouch. Um,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I mean, he's a Kennedy, right? I mean, you got
Yeah.
that Kennedy name. Okay, you're famous. Okay, you're a Kennedy.
Right.
You're walking around. Everybody wants to see your face, wants to know what you're doing. So
Right.
they can say you're famous for nothing, but everybody wants to know what you're doing,
That's
even though you
right.
might not be famous for nothing. So
That's right.
yeah.
That's
So
right. You're absolutely
I
right. And
mean, I,
and listen,
yeah.
everybody did want to know what he was doing. And I
Oh my
mean,
gosh.
everybody wanted to know what
Yes.
he was doing. But the I did notice that what I did like about him was is that he was very human. He kept his life
Yes.
very normal. He wanted to be as normal as possible, even
Right.
though people didn't want to treat him that way. He
Right.
even now, even though he's not alive, Heather, look at his picture. Doesn't he have like this animal magnetism to him? Right?
Yes, definitely. And you know, when he spoke at like different interviews or on
Mm-hmm.
camera, he's just always seems so like eloquent and well
Right.
spoken and just
Right.
like it's just I just found it very mesmerizing, you know. Like
Right?
like oh man, this guy, he's got something, you know. It's like I know that he's and I'm not just saying, okay, let's take the Kennedy out of it,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
I
Right.
mean, just as a person, I thought he really connected with people. He wasn't arrogant. He seemed very
Right. Not
humble.
at all.
Um, you know, and he pursued his passion with that George magazine,
I
against
thought it
all
was a I thought it
odds.
was a I thought it was a smart idea.
I
And
yeah,
what I admired about him, which is the same thing that we're doing right now. I
yes,
loved it that it didn't matter what people said about him. He
right,
stepped out on faith and he did it. It didn't matter. He did it by any means necessary. He didn't care what they said, he didn't care
right,
what they thought. And he did it
right.
by any means necessary. I did it my
Yes, he surely did. Yes.
way.
And you know what? And since he was so heavily involved with the magazine too, he had a lot of say in the style and
Right,
what was going to be presented, you know, for the
right,
vibe. And then he always did put an editor's note
right.
on there, which was many times what I noticed, it was very had like a personal message
Yeah, a
within
personal
it, you
touch.
know. Yeah, like a personal touch, sometimes relating to him, you know, what his life was, and with the magazine. So um definitely, I mean, like I said, I and you know, and then the thing is, you know, he failed the bar, you know, twice, and then he finally the
Right,
third time. But you
right,
know what? He listen. Okay, he's well to do. He could have not passed the first time. I said, "Screw it, I'm not going to do it because I don't really need this." But you know what? He
right,
was
right, right.
persistent and he pursued that dream, and I
He
think that's
did. He
awesome.
did.
It
And I thought it
showed,
was great too. I loved it. I mean, I
yeah,
just love to me. I love the three-part series. Um,
Yes.
I loved how they spoke about the girlfriend who turned wife. But I think
Yes.
that it always makes me sad when they get to the part at the end about him
Mhm.
passing away. It just always makes me
Yes.
sad because I feel like he passed away too soon. He didn't get
Yes.
to live enough of his life, and then once again, another mystery of a mystery around a Kennedy passing away.
Yes. Yes.
Right,
Yes. And because, the Kennedys, there's always been that talk about the curse of the Kennedys,
right,
you
right,
know.
right, right,
And the other thing is we have to understand is the Kennedys are really out there in the public and in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
they're the family that has always been watched, right? Good,
right,
bad, or
right,
ugly. People want to know that they're like the royalty. Okay. Like
right.
you can consider them like the royalty of America, right? And
That's right.
so
That's right.
and see the thing,
Camelot.
yeah, exactly. So the thing is when he flew the plane that day, because they were gonna go fly
Hmm.
to a wedding, um, he was advised not to fly. You know, he was advised, no, no, you shouldn't fly
Didn't know
because of the,
that. I didn't know that. Didn't
yes,
know that.
he
Okay.
was told, yes, you should not fly with the, because of the conditions and all this
Right.
stuff. But he
Right.
went against that. Now, I really wonder,
Mm.
a question that I wonder now that I'm saying
Hmm.
this is,
Right.
what was he thinking when he was approached and said, "Oh, you're taking the plane out. You shouldn't be flying out today." Did he have that little voice that said, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't, but we need to go to this place and I want to fly there"? I mean, you just wonder those last moments,
Well,
did you
you
go
wonder what he
against,
thought.
yeah,
Right.
because that little voice that we get sometimes, we get it. And so, I don't know about
Right.
you, Tara, but I've had the little voice where I've gone
Girl,
against
child,
it.
I got a bunch of voices. I just don't know which one to listen to.
You don't listen. Well, let's put it this way. A lot of times when I say Heather, no, no, don't and I say no, I'm gonna do it, and then you should
Right. And
listen to
then
it. So I just wondered. I just
mm-hmm.
wondered what he thought because he was
Right.
advised not to do it, and he did it, and then the
There you
demise,
go.
of both him
That's
and his
right.
wife. So
Right.
sad. Very
Right.
sad.
Right. Right. Well, you know what? We're gonna listen, folks. If you guys want to see this, it's on HBO Max. Go check it out. JFK Jr., The American Prince, three-part series. It's really, really
Yes,
good. Okay,
yes,
check it
it's
out.
good.
All right.
Hmm.
So let's switch
Yes.
gears. We're gonna switch gears and let's get to our next one, which is ugh, The Perfect Neighbor. Let's get a picture.
Oh,
Oh God. Okay, so folks, let me tell you.
yes.
This is on Netflix, all right? And I do have a description for this one. This one right here,
Mm.
this is just disgusting. All
Yeah,
right.
it's just,
All righty. One woman, dozens of 911 calls, and a close-knit neighborhood caught in a nightmare. What begins as one woman's relentless harassment of children spirals into a shocking act of violence. Folks,
yeah.
let me tell
Oh,
you something,
oh,
okay?
terrible.
Heather knows this a little bit better than me, but we both saw this on Netflix.
Yeah,
Now, just to give you a quick synopsis of what happened was these are two neighbors. The one on my left is AJ Owen. She is the African American woman who worked at a fast food facility as a manager, had a couple of kids. The woman on the
mm-hmm,
right is Susan Lentz. She is the other neighbor. She
mm-hmm,
lives at home, works at home, harassing everybody in the neighborhood, don't want the
yeah,
kids to play. She doesn't want to hear their voice, very upset, angry, and
yeah,
constantly harassing the children. And then in a heat of one day of something happening, she takes an item from one of the children, takes it in her home. The woman on the left, which is Miss Owens, the African American lady, decides to go to her
yeah,
home, knock on her door,
yeah,
ask for the property back. And Miss
yeah,
Lentz on the right side, the older lady, unalives her through the front door with a gun.
yeah. Oh,
Now,
that's,
all right.
mm,
So now this is what we're going to finish up and talk. Folks, let me tell you something. I didn't really want to see this movie at first. I didn't know if
mm-hmm,
this lady did something to the children or
yeah,
what. And even if it wasn't about the children, it's about the mom. This was one
right.
of the most disgusting movies I've ever
Yes,
seen.
Right.
A movie to me just of some type of racial motivation, whether this lady wanted to admit it or not,
Right.
for her to
Yeah.
continuously in this documentary or series to state that she was being harassed when she was truly not telling the truth, and it was filmed the
Mm-hmm.
whole time, harassing the
Right.
children, just being nasty, and
Yeah.
then you shoot or unalive this woman through a door in front of her children. Now, Heather,
Right.
give us a little bit of background because I know you know a little bit more about this.
Yes.
You have some intel on this. So give us some
Y-
intel, girl. Come on,
Yeah.
give us some intel.
Okay, so the good thing about this show is that it shows all the taped videos like from the police cam. So you
Right,
get to see all these complaints and all this stuff being filmed. So
right,
you'll get a good idea of this tension that's building,
right.
with this older lady. Really, she's the one kind of creating the tension. But now this lady, okay, this older
Hmm.
lady is works from home. I'm going to tell you, I've tried to find out personal information about her or about her, her life or whatever.
Couldn't
It
find
sounds
anything,
like
huh?
there's nothing. Okay, so she doesn't have a criminal record, but she's alone. There's no man. I don't see friends. She doesn't have a pet. She doesn't have children.
Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing.
Okay, it's just her remote job and there. And then she's being bothered by these kids who are being kids, and that whole area is an open area. And
And to keep screaming at them every day was just
yes, and then she
ridiculous.
comes out and then she's like, yeah, she's harassing them and stuff. And of course kids are gonna say things,
Right.
I mean, I don't know
And
about
folks,
you.
I want you guys to know she's also calling these children out of their names. We're not going to repeat what she was calling them.
Yes.
She was
Terrible.
calling them things out of their name. They were not
Yes.
bothering her. She just
Yeah,
honestly, this was just really racially motivated. It was
it
really,
is.
really
Yes. And
disgusting and sad.
she's just a bitter person,
Bitter, very
unhappy
nasty.
and very nasty. And instead of trying to
Nasty.
make the best of the neighborhood and maybe connecting
She
with
made it worse,
the
and
parents, she
everybody in the
made it
neighborhood
worse.
loved each other.
Yes. So now here's the thing. After all these different calls, police calls, and the police are already familiar, with this, this Suzanne
Yeah,
lady and the other woman, Miss Owens
right,
and her kids,
right.
it's like a repeat over and over and over
Right,
again.
right, 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 right,
And
right,
so
right.
when the mom gets upset because Susan took the so-called iPad and went over there. Yes, she was yelling through the door for the lady to come out because she wanted
Right.
to address the issue and she wanted to retrieve the property. Now,
Right.
Susan called the police, and what did the police tell her? Because we hear the recording, ma'am, the door's locked and closed.
The door
Yes,
is locked. There was nothing.
it's
She just,
just
there was no reason
sit
for her to
there.
do that.
Listen, they said just sit there and wait till the police comes and they will announce
Right.
and tell you when you can come out and whatever. So here she takes a gun. Okay, now even if I said that she took the gun and put it on her lap because she thought that this lady was going to bust down the door, okay,
But
which
she
she
wasn't.
couldn't, but she wasn't. Okay, I'll give her even that. But to shoot
Right.
through the door without any rhyme or reason or without looking, you're just shooting. And what do you think is going to happen? And
But can
this
I tell you
lady,
something? Can I tell you
mm-mm,
something that she didn't think about? What she
mm-mm,
didn't think about was you don't know if that lady was standing at that door, one of her kids. And I thought
yes,
about that numerous of times.
that's right.
You
Or she
shot
could
her
have had
through
a
the
couple of
door.
kids. Who
You didn't know.
knows?
You didn't know who she was standing. Ladies
Because
and
you know
gentlemen, I'm
what?
just gonna tell you. Go see
Listen,
this.
and
It's
she has like,
ridiculous.
listen, she could have had her 3-year-old holding her 3-year-old, knocking at the
That's
door trying to
right.
talk to the lady because she has kids and women
It's
with
ridiculous.
children usually have children that are following you around. But anyway,
That's
so
right.
she chose to do
Right, right, right,
that, thinking that she could. She had no,
right.
and she has
I,
no
this is
remorse, no
this
remorse.
this is this is my thing, and I want us to wrap it up. So listen, I'm gonna tell you guys, folks. Please go and see this because
Hmm.
you have to see. Because now that you got
Yes,
the meat and potatoes of it, I want
yes,
you to see how this lady reacts from the beginning to the end of
yes,
what she did, and you will
yes.
see that she has no remorse, even though she
Mm-mm.
unalived this lady through a front door in front of her children. Okay? And we're gonna leave, we're gonna
Yes.
stop that right there. We're gonna leave right there.
All right.
So, folks,
Sounds
I'm
good.
telling you, if you guys get a chance, please go on Netflix pull up the perfect neighbor. I'm telling you, this
Mm-hmm.
one, this honestly was a good one. This was a good one. This really, really
Mm-hmm.
was good. I'm glad we got a chance to see it. Just,
Yes.
I don't know, just very, very, very saddening. This just was a very, very sad thing. I just couldn't believe it that this lady shot this lady through the door, y'all. Through the door. Can you imagine? Through her
Yeah,
front door in front of her
but Tara,
children.
hey, and Tara, guess what? When it comes to neighbors and feuds, I've seen it so many times on different shows.
Right.
You can't really underestimate what someone can do.
Yeah, because
You
you
know what
don't
I'm
know what they're
saying?
gonna do. People be assuming all the time, and
Here
we're in
you're
a crazy
thinking,
time.
all you think is this old lady's all, bitter and whatever. You're not thinking she's going to take a gun and shoot through a door.
Right.
So you have to be careful. You have to be careful with people nowadays. Mm-mm.
You just
Yeah,
don't know. You just don't know.
you don't
So,
never know.
folks, listen, we're going to get off here. So, listen, before you leave, please like, share, subscribe. JollyStudios@gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com, and at Heather Mola. Please. So, listen, we thank you guys
Thank
for
you for
hooking up
joining.
with us. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And listen, we'll be back here next week sometime. So, listen,
That's
I would
right.
say touch that little bell on the side, like us, share, stay with us. We got information for you, okay? We love you. Have a good one.
Bye,
Goodbye.
guys. Bye.